Welcome to a realm of pure logic. Should I be scared, or should the game be scared of me? Rule 1, each row and column contains the stated amount of walls. Okay, so I can either place a wall or an X showing it's empty. So if there's 0 walls in this row, so you can mark that. And a cat died due to the bomb, perhaps? I also have a column with 0, so I can mark that with all X's. I have a row with 9, and it's 9 out of 10. We already have one X, so the other 9 can be walls. Oh, and you can see the numbers are grayed out if they have the proper number of walls in them. So that's easy so far. I can mark this 8 and this 8, which would cascade into this 2 being complete and this 2 being complete, which I guess we're killing more cats, huh? Okay, well, I can mark this 7 and this 7, which would then complete these 3s, killing another cat. This 6 and this 6 are complete, and then we can mark the 5, creating, oh, nice little spiral. Oh, violent. Rule 2, why does it look like this? Bombs burst orthogonally. Rule 3, all cats must be eliminated. Interesting. So if we have a 10 and a 10 by 10, that just marks the whole column, and that actually gets rid of a ton of rows, as well as a couple cats. On here, well, okay, maybe I'm supposed to actually eliminate the cats, so I should probably mark X's so the bombs can see the cats. So with that in mind, I have a row of 8 that can be completed, and a row of 6 I can go through, which actually completes a ton of columns. Gives me a column of 3 I can complete, a row of 2 that is complete, a row of 4 complete. Oh, and so many columns done. And the last column. So, okay. A little bloodthirsty, but I'm here for it. Rule 4, bombs hit exactly the stated number of cats. Okay. Okay, if this bomb hits 2, then it can't really go towards the crowd of 3. It's got to be blocked off. It has to go down and get those cats. And then 1 would come over here, and then 4 would come up here. Okay, this is interesting. So now, let's see. We got a bunch of other completed columns and rows, and we have a 0. There's a suspicious, like, star in here that I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Yeah, I wonder what they're getting at. Like, I like how this is very Minesweeper, or maybe Notograms inspired, but then it has, like, a lot of different interactions to it, because I love Notograms. This is a cool little take on it. Rule 5, bombs must not hit stars or other bombs. Okay. Please use bombs for their intended purposes. Very well. So block the bombs from hitting each other. And okay, they gotta hit the cats, so we'll get those. And make sure the cats are hit. Now a little bit of logic. We could look at this row of 1. One wall needs to be in between the bomb and the star. So everything else can be marked with an X. Actually, I guess we do have some completed columns. But similar logic persists. Gotta make sure the wall is between the bomb and the star. And that one is actually quite simple. I have a row of 7 that's simple. I have a row of 8 that's simple, and that gets a ton of columns. Thank you. Column of 7 that's simple. Oh, and I have to be sure to block off the star. Column 5 that's complete. Gotta complete the row. Another completed column. Complete the row. And complete the column. There we go. The bombs have been used for intended purposes. Rule 6. Each zone contains exactly 1 star and at least 1 cat. And diagonals are suitable barriers. Okay, I understand. Well, we have some simple 10s and 0s that are always trivial to mark. Got 3 cats eliminated, and then the wall has to be between the bomb and the star, so I'll leave that be. Same with the 2 cats eliminated, similar principle. Here the wall is obvious, so at least that's completed. Oh, I missed the 0. All right, get the last cat, recognize the wall. So now let's look at the 3rd column. There's only 1 wall left, and it's got to block this bomb from this star. So it can't go here, which means this is the wall. But then somehow I got to make 2 sections here. Yeah, like I have to separate the stars. So for instance, would something like this work? I think the answer is yes. And then I can mark the rest, and that clears it out. Okay, the zones are nice. Rule 7, each cat is hit by a single explosion. I had a feeling about that, but wasn't positive. Yeah, okay, actually, it might be obvious, but it needs to be said. This game knows me too well. Well, so now it's about deciding which bombs will hit which cats. Let's look at this bomb, for instance. I think it has to hit the cats to left and right, because if it were to hit the cat below, it would also hit the star, which is forbidden. So I'm gonna accept these dying, and then we don't want any double kills. And then this bomb here must hit the cat below it, because if it were to hit the cat to the left of it, this bomb would also hit the same cat, and that's 2 explosions. So we're gonna hit that down here, and we can clean up the right column. Also gotta make sure the wall is between the bomb and the cat in column 8. Oh, this bomb has to hit the cats above and below, because if it were to hit the cat on the right, it would also hit the star, which means that actually this bomb must hit below, and both of these bombs must hit right. And then we should make sure that no double explosions happen. Completing this row, and then row 6 is obvious, which then completes a couple more obvious columns. Column 6 is obvious. Then we complete the top and 9th row. Row 2 is obvious, completing the 3rd column. Column 2 is obvious. Row 3 is obvious. Oh, I do have to block this rightmost bomb from going left, so that forces a wall. You can force 2 walls here. Then bombs cannot hit each other, so we leave it like this. Very nice. And logic requires no guesswork. I need not wish you luck. All right, protect the star from a bomb. In fact, in all cases, protect stars from bombs. Protect a double explosion from happening. Complete a column. Protect the double explosion. Oh, I gotta blow up the top 2 cats somehow. There we go. Oh, the 1 bomb needs to hit a cat here, which blocks off the 2 bomb, which there we go. Hits the cats. This 8th column is trivial. Then with the 8th row, completed column. Okay, the 1 bomb is hitting, which means that this 2 bomb must hit above, block that off, complete the row. Got another row that's trivial, and a couple more rows that are trivial, but I imagine the trivialities will end very soon, because now I just gotta separate the stars, which looks something like this. Very nice. All puzzles can be solved when first encountered, if so inclined. I think the game's just trying to talk to me now. Okay, how am I gonna separate all this now? I'm thinking it has to almost be like a big Y. Maybe not here though. Maybe it has to actually be in the big diagonal instead. And then, okay, we have more diagonals. Wait, this is trippy. All the rows are satisfied, but not the columns? Oh, it's because I over-satisfied some columns. Well, in that case, do I have to do a different diagonal, perhaps? Going this way, I guess, would make a bit more sense. Yeah, then I can go up here. Okay, there we go. It's good to know they're not wasting my time, and sometimes you gotta make interesting logical leaps. And now, okay, it seems like it's just not every level is guaranteed to have text, which is almost a bit of a pity. I missed the text. Yeah, but I gotta figure out where to go from here. Scouting around. I actually don't have much right now. I probably just need to think about separating the stars. And kind of, here's the idea. I feel like at some point I can kind of just build a box around the central star with a bit more tact, of course. I think the hard part's actually gonna be separating the corner stars, especially since we have 2 columns where only 1 wall is possible. I think what that means is that both of these have to be walls, and then it'll be almost a diagonal split, almost. Or maybe I could actually focus on this 2 bomb in the middle. It does need walls in one of these 2 squares and one of these 2 squares, so these are blank. And then similar principle for the column, and maybe couldn't go too far with that. So here's how I see it. There's like a partition that still involves some sort of big circle around this, but then kind of splitting off the other parts kind of like this, like approximately. But the approximation is important because what it does mean is that when you make a circle around the center, you're gonna have 2 walls like pretty close to the center in column 5, which means you can't really have them on the edge. Like you have to think, what if even one of them were a wall? How are you enclosing the center then? Realistically, you're not. So it's fair to say that this is an X, and then we can complete both the top and bottom rows. Then I think we're looking at, say, column 3, column 8, because those only need 1 more wall. So 1 wall is not helpful to the enclosure of the center. And I think it actually does have to be a simple square like this, just because where the 6s and 2s line up. I don't see any other way to do it. In fact, that does complete a 6 and a 6 here, and it does complete some central rows. And now, okay, the 3 columns are starting to make sense. because I'm pretty sure the walls have to be here and here to complete that diagonal divide. Conceptually, that's the only way that makes sense. And then, okay, the 6 rows are trivial. Oh, and we can think about how the star needs to meet the cats. Like, you can kind of complete paths here, which then lets me complete the columns. Nice. And why are there question marks? In fact, there's a lot of question marks. Okay, well, I guess we gotta be careful to not overload any bombs. Like this one bomb is already satisfied, and we can't have one bomb hit 2 cats. We also have 2 bombs, so I can get those, and we do have a couple rows and columns that are trivial. And we got a 3 that's satisfied. Don't want 2 bombs to hit each other. Got another column that's satisfied, and it looks like the 2 bomb is satisfied. And then, okay, we gotta make sure the central 2 bomb is not overloaded. Got another row that's satisfied, another column that's satisfied. Row 5 could be completed easily. And then, okay, I gotta pay attention, top left 4 needs at least 2 bombs here, which means this wall is necessary. Oh, we got a cat here, which must be hit, so we'll get that 1 bomb over. Another row that's complete, another column that's trivial. I feel like the 4 has to hit these 2 cats. I don't see any other way for those to get hit, and I realize this 2 is complete, so we can get the 4. So far, so good. Matter of fact, it looks pretty clean. So what do you mean? Am I gonna be seeing more question marks? Yeah, I am. More question marks. Okay, if that's so, we can focus on this cat here. If the leftward bomb were somehow to hit, then there's no way we can get 2 walls in that row. So the above bomb must hit it. But I'm not sure where I should go from there. Unfortunately, I can't do the same with the above cat because so far everything here looks fine. Oh, except for the fact that 2 stars would be connected. So I guess that's actually a solid reason to not go for the above cat, which means this above cat must be hit by the 2 here. So actually, I guess we know the wall has to be between the stars. I can mark off the rest and then, okay, complete the bomb, block the 2, make sure it goes up, make sure this 2 comes over, and last bomb is satisfied. I complete a column. So I guess I gotta figure out how I'm separating the 2 stars. Because if this were the wall, then the stars would still be connected via below. So I guess it's not you, but anything else is possible. Oh, the right column's trivial. Okay, top row is trivial. Now I feel so close to all of these. And I think the best way to proceed is actually by looking at what I would want to call a star group. That is a star and every non-wall attached to it. So this here is one star group, and this here is another star group. I want to make sure the 2 star groups don't touch, so we'll have to look at the second column. So imagine if the wall was here, then all the rest of these would be X's, and the 2 star groups would be connected. So this is not a wall, and then for similar reasons, this is not a wall, and this is not a wall. The others can be a wall. But then you look at column 3, a similar idea. If this is the wall, then the star groups are connected, and they can also connect through a cat, so be very careful there. So these 3 are all blocked. Now we have 3 defined star groups and 1 little T piece of extra stuff. We don't know which star group that belongs to, so as much as I'd want to just assign it to one, it probably doesn't work that way. Oh, well, the 9th column actually has a pretty obvious spot for the wall. I didn't even realize that blocking the 2 star groups. In fact, actually, that really opens up a lot. I mean, these 8s can be complete, which actually does so much to just block out. Well, as a matter of fact, I think that allows me to hit this here. And now I see, these are all question marks. We can't have a section without a star, so it's just gotta be a wall. Very interesting. I quite like this. Oh, now with a bomb that can hit 7, suddenly I think I'm forced to hit 3 cats in both directions. And then the 7th one is either of the corners. So that's a good start. Well, okay, where do I go from here? And okay, the 2 bombs do have to hit the ones directly above and below them, but now it's a bit of a mystery. So I wonder if from here, it becomes a puzzle of not connecting the stars? Yeah, because we already have 2 well-defined star groups, but they are still technically pretty far away. There's a lot of other islands. The only thing I can really deduce is like this can't be a wall, because then both of these would be empty, which just goes against so many rules of the game. But that's not like a important change. I mean, similarly with this, It does make the star groups a little bit closer to being connected, but not quite there. I mean, similarly, I don't think this can be a wall either, because then both this and this would need to be an X, which would overload the 7. But again, this doesn't feel extremely impactful. Maybe until I try to start separating the star groups. I guess actually this corner must be an X for the same reason. I have to think about connecting the star groups, duh. I can't have a scenario where both of these are X's. So one of these must be the wall, so the rest are not. And then similarly goes on the other side, there is some symmetry. And then actually we can directly separate the star groups here, which does complete 2 columns. And again, keep separating the star groups even at diagonals. And of course that actually tells me which cats I'm hitting, which helps. Separate star groups here, complete a row. Separate star groups, complete a column. Oh, and a row. Oh, and awesome. Okay, this actually helps complete the 7. And now I feel like we have a pretty clean division here. Just make sure these rows are good. These columns are good, and it all sets up nicely. 39, 39, 39, 39? The fuck? It's even got a sigma and the plus arrow. Is that just telling me the numbers add up to 39? Oh, well, I see. The numbers on top add up to 39. What about the numbers for the rows? 2, 4, 7, 36, 39. So I guess that means the question marks have to be zeros. That's kind of interesting. Like I could start here and then work with that. I guess that's actually, yeah, a good little shortcut to solving this little counting method. And then, okay, that completes some more columns. Off to a good start. And then, okay, I got a 5 I can complete. Excellent. Oh, look at that, even more columns complete. And then I can get a 3 and a 3. Now, I do have to block the cats from being double blown up. So there we go. Get a 2 going. Complete a column. Complete a row. And the rest should just fall into place. Yeah, I guess that's a good tip. So now the column numbers add up to 11 and the row numbers add up to 12. So the question marks among all 3 of them add up to 1. And I'm gonna tell you what, the 1's gotta be in between the 2 stars. You can't just have the stars connect. So that means the other 2 question marks are zeros, and I could just mark those as so. But then I guess I gotta figure out how I can make sure I'm separating the stars. It could be something like this, or it could be something like this, and then, you know, continuing diagonally, that type of thing, going either direction. But I do also need this to hit, so I should also get to these down, complete the rows. And then let me just try the diagonal strat. Well, so far that's no good, because that does mean I'm gonna connect the 2 star groups. So what else can I do? Well, would it be any easier if I went in the other direction? Yeah, something like this. That looks right. No need to overthink of it. Just set up a wall. Cool. Now the columns sum to 41 and the rows sum to 34. So that's a difference of 7, but both have question marks. So what that tells me is the 2 question marks in the rows add up to 7 more than the 2 question marks in the columns. How many walls can the row question marks even represent anyway? 4 plus 8, so 12. And that's at most. And the columns would then represent 5. But I'll tell you what, I mean, there has to be at least a couple walls in the column question marks. Yeah, I mean, otherwise the bombs would be hitting each other. Like at minimum 2 walls. So then we're talking at minimum 9 walls in the rows. But there have to be some X's, so like the 3 can actually blow up these 2 cats here. How many X's does there have to be? 1 here, and I could go wall, wall, wall. Just to get this, this, and that, for example. So with that in mind, I actually don't think the question marks are the starting point. Maybe the starting point is the 1 column on the right side. I mean, the wall has to be in between the 2 cats, otherwise 1 bomb hits both cats. So both of these are good hits, and then I can block off any double bombing, which would then mandate the 3 to get the cats there. So then bottom row, we do have a 2, which means there's 1 more wall, and it's gotta be between the bomb and the star, so it's not on the other side of the star. Same with the 3rd row. You can deduce that there's a wall here because only one of the remaining 2 cells can be a wall because one of the bombs has to hit the cats. It does mandate this one to come down, and this to be blocked off, this to be hit. Top row is complete, and I can get the left column trivially, get a couple obvious hits, complete the bottom row trivially. We can't have an island in the upper left. That has to connect to everything else. Then I complete 2nd row. Okay, now let's look at the bounds. I believe the columns will have exactly 3 walls. So I'll sum to 44, which means the rows must need 10. Now, bottom question mark has to have 2, just so, yeah, the middle cat's gonna be hit, which means the upper question mark must have 8. So I can mark that. Left column is complete. Oh, and the 4th row, the second X needs to be between a 3 and 2 cats. So the rest should be walls. Can't have an island in the upper right. Oh, bottom left can't be an island. And then the 9th row forces the rest to be walls. And I think the second column is forced. Bottom right can't be an island. And now all of a sudden, the rest shall fall. Well, hopefully. Yeah, actually, a lot falls here. Excellent. Got a complete row, complete columns, and 2 more walls. Excellent. Yeah, this game's a really interesting logic puzzle type. I haven't seen anything like it. I had a good time playing. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful day and peace.